Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Magi, the Kingdom of Magic, Episode 8 review. Of course, you guys can look down in the description box below for the link to the series on Crunchyroll.com, where you guys can view it if you live in the States, and I believe Canada. If you live in Europe, different story, probably. So, a simple Google Yahoo or Bing search will do you justice. So, that being said, the end of this episode I thought was funny because it was like Aladdin pulls it off. He goes into the first condo, so he goes from 6 to 1, and 1's the highest one. And then all of his buddies in the 6th condo are like, yeah, good job, man, they're coming. In comes Myers, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, straight up titties right in his face. That was funny. That to me I thought was very, very, very funny, man. She just came in there, yeah, and I'm like, dude, that was good, that was good. But for some reason, I just felt really happy when Aladdin finally accomplished his goal. Now, granted, I've read the manga, so I've seen this before, duh. I'm just saying, like, I felt really happy when he actually accomplished it. When he did the combination of Hadi and Figar, and then the wind magic, which I forget. But we actually learned a lot when it came to, after all the training. Well, actually, even that, we kind of learned that in order for one to actually utilize magic fully, you must first build the container of that magic, or that Magi, which is your own body. Which is why the 6th Condor had the highest dropout rate. Because people who went to Magnostat were assuming that they were going to sit there and learn fucking magic. But no, in comes Myers. And Myers like, yo, I'm going to whip y'all into shape. And of course, she is full-on dominatrix. She's ready to go. And the thing here is that because of the fact that Aladdin has never really fully trained when it came to his own body, the amount of Magi that he could utilize was very limited. Because there was a self-imposed limiter, I suppose. I mean, that's what Myers called it, a limiter. And once you train and hone your body to a certain degree, that limiter is removed. Because now your body can withstand the amount of Magi that you possess. And of course, in the case of magicians, they're able to take their Magi and convert it into magic and that kind of stuff. So the thing here is that was very fascinating, because in the sense that, because obviously when it came to metal vessel users or household vessel users, they obviously have very honed bodies. And when it came to magicians, they normally have the Borg, like that defensive root barrier that protects them. So they have and of course they can fly and utilize. So in a lot of cases, they don't really have to use their own physical bodies to to engage in combat. But it winds up being one of the key factors as to whether or not, or as to how much magic one can use. That's number one. Number two is that once we actually excel after all the training, well, I mean, like after most of the physical training, like after a month, after most of the students have dropped out, and then only 5 remain, we actually get to learn about the elements of magic. And I believe there's 8 of them, but I don't know if I remember all of them. All I remember is that, like, there's the basic, you know, fire, water, wind, then there's light, then there's sound. Okay, then there's sound, then there's lightning, obviously, duh. Then, like, the last 2 escape me. I want to say darkness, but wouldn't the dark group be darkness? Oh, no. Well, then, no. There's a key difference here. Well, then, I'm going to assume Earth as one of them. And then the last one, again, I don't know. But basically, like, there's 8 magics that one can perform. And elements of the Rook. Because the Rook, they embody most of the things, if not all the things on the planet. So, for example, when the waves actually move, the Rook are the catalyst of the waves moving. The Rook are the catalyst of trees growing. The Rook are the catalyst of the wind blowing, and that kind of stuff. The Rook are the great white flow itself is infused with the planet. And the thing here is that when you listen to the Rook, you can tap into these abilities. So we see Aladdin, he actually listens to the Rook. and then he is able to actually know the incantation of his first wind spell. And then he's able to do certain combinations. So the thing here is that with 8 different categories of magic, now granted, because his main category is red, fire, his second best, if you look at the chart scheme, is wind. And we've seen it like before in a lot of anime. If you watch a variety of anime, you've seen like there's like this whole system of like power schemes, like this can go with this or this negates this, and you know, we've seen it before so many times over. It's we're used to it, basically. And the thing here is that you're not just limited to those 2. Like, you can learn all forms of magic. You can learn all 8 categories. But when it comes to Aladdin specifically, his greatest affinity is with the fire magic. And his second greatest affinity is with wind magic. And you can do various combinations in order to propel one's magical skill even further. And I mean, who knows? Maybe you, because we see him, he did a combo of 2 magic types. He may be able to do 3 or 4 in the future. Who knows? Maybe you can combine all 8 elements. I have no idea. But still, they're there to utilize for every situation. And in fact, we see people at the beginning when in Magnos Stand in the city, they're flying around and shit like they're witches in Harry Potter, and they're playing Quidditch with Ronald Weasley and Hermione didn't play. But fuck you, you guys are my point. They're flying around on brooms, and that's of course a form of wind magic. So, and it's not like every magician there, it has the strongest affinity with wind magic, but they all know wind magic to a certain degree as to where they can actually fly around the city. So, fair enough. So the thing here is that it actually opens a lot of doors when it comes to Aladdin and his future potential and power. Or I should say magical skill. Especially now that he's in the first Condor. So he's bypassed, you know, 5 through 2, and now he's at the first one. And he's going to be able to have all these doors open for him because he's on the first Condor. That's very obvious. Now, when it came to... I mean, he basically has a roommate. His name is Fintus, and he's from Heliohapt, the same country that Sharkan is from, one of Sinbad's household vessels. I mean, you know, Alibaba's trainer, swordsman trainer. So like they're obviously from the same place. They're tan, blonde hair, of course, black eyes, blonde hair. We see it all the time in anime nowadays. It's weird, but whatever. And the thing here is that he was in the fourth Condor, and then they had to like demonstrate. Aladdin had to demonstrate his power in front of everybody, and he did it like stupendously. So that was pretty cool to see, and him overcome all these trials. And of course, the main catalyst of him being able to push through all the hardship to see these results of his training were the boobies, the titties of Myers. And you know what? To each his own, man. To each his own, because hey, if that's what motivates you in life, tiggle bitties, then fine. Have at it. Have at it. I ain't stopping. So, Aladdin, he did push through. And good for him. So, I actually really liked the episode. It was a very simple episode, but I actually liked it a lot. I really did. The pacing was good. They skipped over a lot of the training, but then, like, you can't expect them to stay there the entire time and then have 2 or 3 episodes of just him running and jogging and doing push-ups and getting whipped. So, no. That's not happening. And then I would have preferred that they actually stay a little bit more when it came to the learning of the different elements and trying to combine various elements. And of course, Sphintus never actually got the chance to tell Aladdin his story, but in the future he probably will at some point, because now he won't be just, you know, because now that most of his physical training we can assume is over for the most part, because now he's in the first Condor. So Myers, I don't think, has any more jurisdiction over Aladdin, because I don't know how it operates in Magnostad. Maybe she goes up with him. I have no idea. But regardless, his physical training, for the most part, should be over. And he may be able to listen now, finally, to finish the story, which is about damn time. And at the end of the day, we see at the end of the episode, after the credits, I mean, after the ending, we're now going to Alibaba. And Alibaba, apparently he's finally in the Lem Empire, in the Colosseum. It took him a while, I guess, because it's been a month. And he's just there. His clothes look shredded. He has a stick in his hands. Looking kind of badass, though. So, I mean, I have no idea what happened exactly. But, hey, we're going to find out next week's episode. So, that being said, the episode rating overall, I did like it. I thought it was a good episode. And I'll leave it at that. So King Lightning, be sure to, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.